Well, Tom, look, we are going to see a lot more freedom for residents in Greater Brisbane as of tomorrow. That change will kick in at 1 a.m. It means we're going to see the scrapping of a mask mandate for 5 local government areas, including Brisbane, Moreton, Logan, Ipswich, as well as Redlands. We're also going to see restrictions return to what the rest of Queensland enjoys. That means 50 people will be able to gather indoors in households, 100 outdoors. 200 people can now attend weddings, and they will be able to put on their dancing shoes as well. For hospitality venues, they will return to that 1 per 2 square metre rule instead of 1 per 4. And we will also see the return of visitors at our hospitals and aged care facilities. The Premier says this is all down to the hard work of those in Greater Brisbane.
We have some of the lowest levels of restrictions in the country, but also in the world. At the moment, I get reports that businesses aren't operating. They're shut down because they're in lockdown in many, many countries across the world. And if you don't have a strong health response, you can't have a strong economy.
So, Tom, the next big question on everyone's lips is exactly when Queensland will remove that COVID hotspot restriction for Greater Sydney. The Chief Health Officer did sound pretty positive this morning when she was addressing questions by journalists, but of course that ultimate decision will be made next week.
They're getting on top of all their clusters, so we've seen a whole series of clusters, which has been an enormous amount of work for them, but each one they've got on top of, and this last one it looks like they're getting on top of, so it's very encouraging.
Just one new COVID case in Queensland overnight, and that was an Emirates crew member who is now no longer in Australia, and that was out of more than 7,000 tests. We have just 23 active cases in the state, and that means that we've gone 14 days with no community transmission. And when it comes to that proposal that Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk is presenting to National Cabinet on Friday in regards to potentially moving our hotel quarantine facilities into more regional areas, we're yet to find out any more sites that are being considered by the government aside from that mining site near Gladstone.
Yeah, been a constant source of tension, hasn't it? How to sort that out, Julia? Thank